Get off TikTok. We're back. So, have you been, Morgan? What you been up to?
Pretty good. So we were just talking about our like friendship episode and talking about how I'm pretty new to like the Richmond area and I'm trying to like get my bearings, make friends, do all the things. And basically I had one friendship date this week, big yay. And I also went to like there's this thing called Let's Hang RVA.
Okay.
And it's basically just like a group meeting situation where they're just trying to like have people connect, make new friends, discover Richmond and do all these things in the area. And so me and my roommate went to that.
And where was it?
It was at Hardywood.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's like the one that's down here, like outside kind of vibes.
Yeah. So, well, we were actually inside, but yeah, we just grabbed a beer or kombucha, whatever, and hung out and talked. And we talked to like, our goal was that each of us would, I told my roommate, I'm like, we each have to talk to at least 2 people. I'm like, that should be so easy if you get at like a table and you just talk to a group. And she was like, okay. And she's like, I'm not giving my number out to anybody. Flash forward, she's a liar because we did meet a girl that we really liked and she exchanged numbers with her.
Okay, I thought this was going somewhere else, but
no.
I was like that she was giving her number out to guys. But
No, but she was like just nervous to like share her number and whatever. But no, we talked to way more people. Everybody was lovely. It was a fun time. This one girl immediately swooped in and kind of like brought us over to a table and started talking to us. And so that was like really nice. She really made us feel welcomed. And yeah, it was a good couple hours. I mean, the 2 hours went by so quickly just because we were meeting all these people. So
yeah, that's so fun.
yeah, no, it actually like this week, it really gave me like a pep in my step because it's like really hard. Obviously we talked about it, like making new friends and like putting yourself out there. You really have to actively do it. And it's also just, it was a great way to go somewhere because neither of us had been to this. I had never been to this Hardywood location. And you know, Ashley's never been. So it was like, okay, we got to go to a new place. We got to have a beer, chill, hang out, talk to people. So it was fun. I enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Explore a new place and meet new folks.
Yes. And then
New folks. I don't know why I chose folks as the word, but that makes me sound old.
well, and then I also, that was not me making use. I was trying to move on to the next section, but that really made me sound like I was selling you out. And then also with the other girl, I got to go to the Ironclad location down here too. So that was cool.
Yeah.
And we sat and talked for hours. She's awesome. We were trying to make plans next for something else. So
Cool.
again,
You're like spreading your little wings.
I know.
Fly, butterfly.
I know. No, I'm literally like jumping off the tree out of the nest being like, all right, it's like do or die situation. Yeah. But it's really been encouraging. Like both of those interactions were really encouraging because I'm like, it's just scary. The thought of it's scary, but like people want to like make friends and like, be nice to one another.
Especially in that kind of environment where it's like a meetup of people.
Yes.
Like, you know, everyone is going there to meet people. So it's like the perfect place.
Exactly. And she does like a ton of events each month. I don't know if you know Elaine.
I don't think so.
So she's like a huge influencer for Richmond. And her whole thing is like live local, like live like a local.
Okay.
And she just posts events and things that are going on, and that's what she's known for. And then she created this group so people could make friends, and
that's
she's
awesome.
Been doing it since like August. So it's really kicked off, and yeah, so it's been fun. Like I guess she does yoga. They do all these different things. Really gives people an opportunity to like meet others and try something
new. I love that.
New.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's
good for
positive.
you.
I know. I was really nervous, but I was like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it scared, and you know, it was good. I've never though done any of those things, and it's turned out bad. That's what I always tell myself. Like whenever I've done one of those things, I've never been like, oh, it's negative. And you know, the worst case, you can always leave.
Yeah,
you don't have to stay.
For sure.
Like you can always be like, I'm going to the bathroom, and then just like dip if it's really bad.
Yeah.
But like again, I've never had to do that. I don't know. Everyone's so nice. So that was really good. And I think that's basically it. The only other thing I've been really working on. So as we were talking about last time, I have a wedding coming up.
Yeah.
And so I started swimming and doing all this stuff. I'm really trying to get in a little bit more shape for this wedding. Not that you have to, okay? But like, I'm going to get photographed. I'm not the bride, but I'm like, I want to look nice. Like, me and her are best friends. So I know we're going to get some like pictures together and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I just want to like look and feel my best. And I've been trying really new recipes lately too, because I've been trying to up my fiber intake, partially because I don't want colon cancer. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but so many people
so real though.
So many people our age are like getting colon cancer.
Yeah, I was going to say that makes you sound like an 80-year-old, but it is a bigger problem for younger people these days, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're saying like 23 plus year olds are getting a lot of colon cancer. And so I've been reading into it a lot, and like, not to go like freak everybody out, but I'm like, there's like real evidence that shows like not getting enough fiber, like veg, fruits, and also not hydrating enough is like causing that. So I've been like trying to do those things. And I was telling Mom about this, but I had this delicious bowl from this girl on TikTok, and I don't know her name. I'm so sorry, but it's this hot honey mustard chicken bowl. And so she put down arugula. We didn't have that, so we did kale. And then the chicken, and then a homemade coleslaw. But the coleslaw is made with like Greek yogurt, lemon, a little feta, all this stuff.
Okay, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, and did I mention sweet potatoes? And then there's sweet potatoes.
Oh, interesting. I wouldn't have thought to add that.
No, not in the coleslaw, like underneath, I should say. So it's like veg, the sweet potatoes, then chicken plus the coleslaw on top. Okay. And I actually was like, this is so good. And that's just all she does is make like healthy, I think she calls it like healthy girl meals, or healthy girl dinners. And that's all she has on her page. She's like a buffalo chicken one, all this stuff. And so I'm really interested to try her other
Well, you're going to have to link her profile in the comments so that everyone can go check her out, because she sounds like a good follow. Yeah, no, it was the first meal. Like, I've seen her several times, but that was the first meal I tried. And mainly because my roommate loves like honey mustard, like a lot. And I do too, but I never would have thought of putting like Mike's like hot honey in it and like making it like that. And it was really good. So, yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. No, I'm just trying to have my healthy meals, live my healthy girl lifestyle, not develop colon cancer. Yeah. Major goals there. Yes. But what's been up with you? Well, this is really important. Maybe not as important as colon cancer, but I found this like random long ass hair on my stomach this morning when I was getting in the shower. And I don't understand how this stuff happens. Like, it's abnormally long, and it's just one. It's just like this one long little hair. Just where did you come from, and how did you get so long without me noticing? Like, this clearly a sign that I don't like look at myself very closely. Yeah, I don't get it. Does it like curl a little bit? I have to give the audience a vision. It didn't curl. We're not quite there yet. Maybe if I let it grow, I can start doing some styles with it. But for right now, it's just kind of hanging there. Hanging out. Yeah, I'm going to pluck that baby later. I didn't do it this morning, but that's on my agenda today. That's hilarious. I feel like that's just like, I don't know. I was just thinking about like how you get older and like those random things pop up. Because like me now, so you're saying I'm old. I'm not saying you're old, but you're getting older. That's not a lie. It's like me with my new gray hairs that you found. Oh, yeah. That happens. No, that's actually evil. That was vile. That really turned my stomach this year. Yeah. She like was doing my hair before I learned how to use a bigger curling iron because I was helpless. And then she was like, you know, you have gray hairs. I'm like, oh, you could have kept that to yourself. I didn't have to know. I went to her hairdresser. We go to the same hairdresser. And I was like, I have gray hairs now. And she's like, it happens. I'm like, no, it does not happen. I know. Like, Katie's a real one because she never calls us out when she finds them. But yeah, it just happens like that. Next thing you know, you'll have giant hairs coming out of your stomach. Oh, the things to look forward to. So much to look forward to as you age. Oh, great. I'm so excited. We also actually had some other drama with Ginger lately. And You were there for that. I was so thankful that you were home that day. But our dog Ginger, she's like the shy, like scaredy cat one, was outside in the yard. And she comes in and goes and lays in the bathroom on the floor, which is like not typical. Like normally she lays on the bed, like she wants her pets and stuff, but she was kind of like isolated by herself. And my husband was like, that's weird. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go check it out. So I walked over there. She has hives all over her little head, swollen in her face. Like her little eyes were like so squinty because of all the swelling.
Yeah. Poor baby.
Freaked me out.
Yeah. Up until this point, I've never seen a dog with hives.
No, it was the craziest thing.
And the only reason I came upstairs, I was not around for this. I come upstairs and Ginger like runs up to me, which is like also a little abnormal. Like she'll kind of like peek her head around the corner sometimes, but she doesn't like, she's a little shy. Okay. Yeah. And especially since I'm gone most of the time, she's a little like scared of me sometimes because she's like, where did you come from? Mm-hmm. But she popped in and I was looking at her and I was like, what's wrong with her face? Like that's genuinely what I said. Because I was like, what happened? She just looked like her eyes were, almost swollen shut. Mm-hmm. She just looked like so puffy and she just was like leaning on me. I'm like, poor girl just wanted like scratches and like sympathy.
You could tell she was uncomfortable. And so I called the vet. They couldn't take her. So we got in the car and took her to the emergency vet. And literally, like, as we're standing there waiting for her to be taken back into the room, her swelling just like magically starts going down. And I'm like, no, I promise you, she was very swollen like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. Her hives just disappeared.
Yeah. Before our eyes.
Yeah, no, it was actually so annoying because we were like, we're promised we're not crazy. We would not have rushed her here if we didn't think like her throat was about to close up. Like, and she was panting so hard in the car. Mm-hmm. And then, we get there and it's like the hives are gone. Her swelling she was like just a
little swollen. But anyway, she ended up getting a steroid and some like Benadryl and sent on her way. And she's fine now, but she gave us quite the scare. It's like not the way I want to start my morning.
Yeah, we still don't fully know what happened.
No, we think it was like a bug bite. That was like the best guess. Maybe a spider. I don't know.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. But at least it wasn't a snake.
Yeah, no, it could have been so much worse because we have seen snakes like on our property before and that terrifies me.
Yeah, like I literally just saw a TikTok this morning and it was of this poor pupper and they had to get anti-venom and the dog got bit by a snake. Totally swollen. Their face was like so ballooned. Like I've seen videos and stuff of it, but until you like see it in person, like you genuinely think like, oh, this never happens. No, apparently it's happening all the time.
Yeah.
Dogs just are like running free and then they put their noses in places they shouldn't.
Yep.
And then they mess around and they find out.
So. Yeah. Well, she found out. And hopefully whatever it was, like she stays away from in the future. I hope she learned her lesson, but who knows? What's shocking information is that it was her though, and not the other dog, because Honey is just like our little wild child and is like always getting into stuff, digging unnecessarily. And she was fine. So I don't know. Happened.
I've seen both of them go after bees though.
Yeah.
And Honey though is like the one who'll go after flies and bees. Like she wants to eat them. And we're like, don't do that because then you will get stung.
Yeah.
So having dogs, it's like having little children. You're like, don't touch that. Don't
I know. You leave them outside for 2 minutes and they come in with a swollen face.
Yeah, whatever happened really quick.
It did. Yeah, she had like a quick reaction and quickly dissipated too.
Yeah. Who knows? All the things.
Yeah. So that's been kind of like what's going on with me, just drama with my body and my dogs.
That's just so real though. That's just real life in a nutshell. But talking about like real life.
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of wanted to talk about today, like online versus your technically offline life. I mean, your job is sharing your life with the world even more so now than ever. And kind of like, what's it like sharing your life constantly online?
It's a lot and it can be exhausting. I'll say that I've learned better as the years have gone on to like set boundaries, because there is this mentality like that everything is content. Literally everything is content. You could film yourself brushing your teeth. You could film yourself doing anything. And now that vlog content is like super big, you can literally record yourself 24/7 and be posting it, and people will like view it and interact with it. So it can be hard setting boundaries and learning like, okay, this is what I'm going to share and this is when I'm going to like turn it off. But part of the problem with that is that you're constantly having to create content. Yeah. Like it's a hamster wheel where I put out a video today, but guess what? I have to do another one tomorrow and then the next day. And so it's just constant. And that's the part that really makes me at times feel burnt out. Like there have been times where I've been like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm exhausted.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, anyone that's like creative knows, even working in like marketing and things like that, I understand it, because you're constantly having to be on, right? Like your brain has to be on. How can I reframe this 5,000 different ways? Mm-hmm. Like you're constantly thinking and ideating, and that can just be tiring. Yeah. And then also, not to mention, like you have followers that are constantly wanting more and more and more from you, wanting more personal life stories, wanting more content, more ideas of things that they can buy and wear and whatever.
More authenticity, and that just like makes you want to be on even more.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. And I guess also, like, how do you navigate trying to keep certain personal things like private? Yeah. Because when people are wanting all of you all the time, I imagine it's hard to be like, this is just a private me thing or like a family thing. I don't want to share this. And then there's certain things that you might be like, well, I guess like I quote unquote owe it to my followers to know that. Mm-hmm. Like, where do you draw that line?
Yeah, I've definitely felt that in the past. Specifically, we have had 2 kind of like public, I guess, pregnancy losses, both of them second trimester. And so with the first one, like I was very visibly pregnant and then I was not anymore. And I mean, I had to kind of explain that. And I think it was good in helping me process, but also there did become a time where I felt like I owed people that story. And when like Pregnancy Loss Awareness Day would come up and stuff like that, like I would feel this call to create content around that. And I wanted to be helpful for other people, but at some point I had to stop because I don't feel like I owe people my pain anymore. Yeah. And it was painful. Every time that day came around, I would be just completely torn up because I'm like, not only am I feeling it, now I have to talk about it with people. And then I'm going to have like this vulnerability hangover because I'm going to get hundreds of messages of people going, I'm so sorry you've been through that. All helpful, like very well meaning, but it does continue to drain you. So it's like not just one day, it would be like days of sucking this like energy out of me.
For sure. You're like rehashing all of those emotions. And then, I mean, it is like, it's, when you have a loss and like, yes, like you're saying, you're having people reach back out to you saying those kind things, but yeah, then you're having to like thank all of those people.
Exactly. And like I want them to know that I've seen the message because I know that they're taking time out of their day to encourage me or pray for me. And oh my gosh, like there's nothing more meaningful than that. But at the same time, it's still painful.
Yeah.
To receive those messages, even though they're positive.
Yeah. Even though I've never been through anything like that, I understand like where you're coming from. Like there's certain things like private moments and emotions, and then having to share that publicly for like worldview and critique and everything like that has to be exhausting. It just like
it is. Yeah. And so now I've shared that story. It's on my blog and I'm like, I've done it. And now I don't feel compelled to like traumatize myself around that story. And there's other things like family losses that have come and I just haven't talked about it because I'm like, I don't owe the public my private pain.
No, and I think I agree with that. I think more and more people are starting to kind of draw lines in the sand because it's like, at what point can people just like grieve privately?
Yeah.
Or have their moments privately? I mean, we see that especially with like big celebrities like dying or things like that, and people being like, well, how did they die? And blah, 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 blah. Like with Liam Payne, especially, I feel like a lot of people were wanting like comments from like the family and like from the girlfriend and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's like not your place. Like, they found out about this at the same time you did.
Yeah.
And they're probably just like first they need to figure out what happened, whatever. Like, we don't need to know the full story. Like, we know he died and that's sad, but like, you don't have to know all the details from the autopsy report. Like, at what point do fans and like followers have to know those things? Like,
they don't. And I think we just have to normalize too, people setting boundaries and like the public learning to be okay with it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then, I mean, you've also had to deal with like weird comments about like you,
which, like comments about my weight, or like, I remember, I think it was like my very first mean comment. Like, someone sent me a DM and was like, I don't know why you think you're so cute, like you have a belly or something like that. And I was like, okay. And I mean, that's not like the worst comment in the world, but it was the first one I ever got. And I remember it just being like so hurtful. And I'm like, why? Like, why would you spend time out of your day to like write a comment to that? Like a random person on the internet.
No, people, well, first of all, it's like so mean and degrading. I actually hate it. I love how most of your followers are just like very positive. Yes. Because there's definitely a side of the internet where it's like very much not like that.
Yeah, it can be very dark.
Yeah, and it like pisses me off because I'm like, you're commenting on someone else's life that you have nothing to do with, by the way. Like, you're not a friend of them. You're a follower. You're not a friend. I'm sorry. I hate to be that way, but you're not. You're not a family member. Like, why you don't get to comment on people's lives, like what they look like, what they do. Like, unless they're asking for your opinion on something, like, why do you feel the need to comment? It's just so
or like
odd.
When people are like, oh, I don't like that on you, it's not flattering. I'm like, I don't remember asking your opinion.
No, I think like TikTok gets me the worst because they're so okay. Like, people talk about how cool TikTok is and how much stuff, and I love TikTok. Like, I'm obsessed with TikTok. But the thing that I see is like so many young people attacking other people and being attacked. Yeah. And that pisses me off. I'm like, you would never, ever, ever say that to a person's face. Like, that's the common thing that gets brought up. But it's true. Like, you would not look someone in the eye and be like, you look so ugly in that.
Yeah.
Or you need to lose weight. Or why does your eye look like that? Or why do you talk with a lisp? Like, these are real things I've read.
Yes.
Why would you say those things? Especially some things like people don't have control over, like a lisp.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. I'm sorry. And like, just like a little ableist, like what are you gonna say that to someone? Like, not everyone is built or like, you know, the same way. Not everyone lives the same lives. Like, that's okay. You don't have to agree with their lifestyle. The cool thing is you can scroll.
Exactly. Yeah. People need to learn to just move on. But some people just get like so enraged. There was one comment that actually like made me, I don't even, just like so mad. I could not let it go. My daughter was on a scooter, fell off, broke her wrist. She had to have surgery for it. Yeah. And so naturally I was like worried about the surgery. I was updating people because she was going to have surgery. I was tearful in this video, like talking about it. Like, I know she's going to be fine. It's just like nerve wracking. So I was just updating people that she was going to have surgery. And I was like a little emotional about it, a little tearful in the video. And another mother sent me a comment and said, you're doing this for attention. She doesn't have cancer. Like, stop being so attention seeking or something.
What a weirdo.
What a weirdo.
Like, you can't empathize with another mother.
I'm not allowed to have a worry that my child is going under anesthesia and is going to be having surgery. Like, excuse me for being a caring mother, that I care for my child. Just because it's not cancer doesn't mean that it's not scary.
Well, and it's not even just that. Like when mothers feel the pain of their children.
Yes.
And, you know, Layla was scared.
She was very scared.
And she was in pain. Mm-hmm. And so you're feeling those feelings.
Yeah. And I want to protect her. And it's like, there's nothing I can do to protect her in this situation. It's hard.
Yeah. It's like, it's just so odd. No, the fact that that woman like really thought about it, that's what kills me. People think these thoughts, then they go and type it out. So they have time to process what they're about to send.
Yeah.
And then they send it.
Yeah. And she's like, unfollowing. I'm like, bye, bitch.
Yeah. Don't need followers like you.
I don't need you around.
Yeah. Like, okay. Like, I'm sorry. Maybe she's going something crazy because
maybe she is. Yeah.
Because whenever I see comments like that, I'm like, oh, like you have such hate and turmoil in your life right now. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna pray for you because there's something going on deep inside of you that's just like so painful. I just couldn't imagine though, like commenting things like that. Whenever I have thought, I try not to like hateful comments. I really try not to like interact anything. Yeah. Even if I agree with what the comment's saying, I really try not to because I feel like I try to think about the person on the receiving end of that. Like if they see something, like you don't know what they're going through too. And then like seeing those comments, how they're going to react or feel that way about it.
Yeah. You never know what people are going through.
Yeah. I think we just need to be more mindful about like what we're interacting with.
Yeah. And you really are only seeing a snippet of a person's day. Like even if I am creating content all day long, I am cutting stuff down. You're not seeing me like making my kids lunches or like sitting with them at the table doing homework. Like I try and keep my kids for the most part out of it. So you're seeing just like the tiniest little sliver of my day. You don't really know what's going on in my house.
Yeah.
And like who I am as a person. So do you have a right to judge me?
No. Yeah. It just goes back to like, if you're not a friend or a family member, you don't get the opportunity to comment on this. And like, yes. And I guess that kind of comes back to if you are sharing your life, people would then argue that you have to be open to the criticism. Yeah. Like, how do you feel about that? Like that comment?
I think you have to be not open to receiving the criticism. I don't need to receive your criticism. I have to be open to getting criticized.
Yeah.
But I do not have to receive what you were saying, you know?
Yeah.
Like I have to be okay with sometimes people are going to say stupid crap. Okay. And be able to move on because it is kind of part of the job. But I don't have to receive what you're putting down, you know?
No,
I don't owe you anything.
I fully agree. I actually think that's like a very toxic mindset for people to have. Like, well, they chose to be an actor. Well, they chose to like do influencing. Okay, well, they didn't choose to have you send them a comment that's rude or have them comment on their life, like, or take photos of them when they're not looking, or like, it's weird behavior. Like you have to kind of check yourself a little bit and be like, is this really, like, I don't know. I don't like that narrative that people, just because they put their lives out there, that then you get to judge them harshly as a result. Like, you'll receive some criticism, or people say, well, I didn't really like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But fine. Like, hatefulness is not what you signed up for.
It's the hate that, it's not cool.
Yeah. Well, I think also there's being online though, like there are some, I guess, like good parts of it too.
For sure.
Obviously.
Yeah, there have been amazing things. Like we've gotten to do really cool stuff with the family. Like we went to Disney World once with a partnership with them. And yeah, I mean, it helps pay for like my lifestyle for my children, and I am blessed by it. So it's not like all bad. I'm not trying to be like, oh, woe is me, the poor influencer, feel bad for me. Like, no, like it's wonderful. It is like a dream job. I know many people would love to have it. It's just, there are some downsides. It's not all like just ordering clothes and taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's so true, because I think a lot of people, like, more than ever, like, really want to be like an influencer. And like, yeah, like you said, there's so many pros to it. You can get so many opportunities, see new things, go new places, like eat at restaurants you would never eat, do all of that stuff. Like, that's so awesome. But I think people also like forget that, you know, with the good things, there's also, I mean, there are bad things that happen. It's like with any job.
Yeah, it's hard work, and it is constant. Like I mentioned, that constant like hamster wheel churn. My work is always available in the palm of my hand with my phone, so it is hard to like turn off. My husband gets so mad because I'm like constantly working because I need that constant like content.
Yeah.
So it's more work than it looks like. I mean, I feel like it looks like you just take a couple pictures and you upload them and you move on with your day, but it is a little bit more work than that.
Well, and I think I understand that from like my end of things, like as someone who's just like watching a lot of content, like interacting with it. Again, people are always like begging for more content. They want new things to interact with, whether it's like, and from like everybody, they're always wanting more and new ideas and new things. And so like you're scrolling and it's like you're constantly scrolling. Like me, I know for a fact, like I am chronically online. Like the brain rot is there. Like,
have you ever checked your screen time?
Yes, because before, like with my work and stuff, like I had limits set where it was like I was genuinely like 6-7 hours like on my phone every day.
Yeah.
If you're like, when do you do this? Like before work, hours after work, listening to stuff in the car.
Yeah.
That's how easy it is. And I think about that sometimes. Like I genuinely am like, I need to go touch grass. Like I need to just like, I need to stop being online, touch grass, because I don't know how, like where my day goes. And I've been like reading more into it, and I'm still not making any lifestyle changes. Okay. So like before everybody's like, oh, this girl's just like lecturing me on what I need to do, I'm not doing it either.
Yeah.
Like,
but like you're self-aware at this point, and that's like a good first step, is like being more aware.
No, it's literally like doing the 12-step program. Like first is like, okay, I'm aware of my problem. Okay, next, like I need to take steps to like do it. But that's genuinely how I feel. Like I'm genuinely addicted to my phone. Yeah. I know it. I think everybody basically is. I think I've only known a couple people that genuinely have the willpower to set their phone down.
Yeah.
And like not touch it for hours.
It's hard. I've started making like limits on myself too. I've been trying to put my phone down at like 8 p.m. and leave it, because I know that constant like scrolling before bed just like gets my mind turning. Yeah. And we've talked about it too, like the ups and downs of the videos that you get served. It's like a happy video, a sad video. And like your brain just like cannot compute those drastic back and forth changes, and you end up just like not being able to rest. So I've been trying to do that, and I feel like I'm getting decent at it. It's only been a couple weeks, but that has been helpful for me, because obviously with my job, I am chronically online.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you have to be.
Yeah.
But I think also it's kind of hard. In my sense, I feel like I have to be to fit in.
To like know what's going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, and to fit into society, to have friends my age, I need to know what's happening online. The new drama, the new like TV show I should be watching, the new whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like that need to be on there. That's like probably one of the main ways. And then also with work and like marketing and stuff, I feel like, again, I need to be on trend. Like I'm producing things that for other people to hopefully like. If I don't know what's popular, how am I going to do that?
Exactly. Like I gotta know the trending sounds or like different things that people are using or talking about. Yeah. Even for this, like what are people talking about? We need to know about it.
Yeah. So it's that hard balance of like when to turn off. And lately I really have been trying, because I'm reading about like slower living and how much better that is for everybody, and how it used to be like that and how it's slowly shifted over time. And we're not talking about just like mental health. We're talking physical health, like everything. It's like a full transformation. And like in this book, they're even talking about how, I mean, people used to get 12 plus hours of sleep every night.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And we're talking not like random people. We're talking like Mother Teresa. We're talking like big people. Okay. That like, I mean, think about all the things she did. she was a very accomplished woman. Mm-hmm. Okay. No. She was going to sleep at like 7 p.m. every night. Mm-hmm. And yes, she would wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, but like she was getting her sleep.
Yeah.
And now we're running on like less sleep than ever. We're constantly on our phones. We're constantly busy. And like slowing down means that you're going to be just like more in tune with yourself, more in tune with others. Like,
mm-hmm. And maybe less likely to leave nasty comments on random people's profiles.
Yeah, because you're like socializing with real people instead of being on your phone. Like you're talking to people face to face. And that's what's crazy is like the more socializing you do, you're going to be like, oh yeah, they're a real person. Like that's a person that like actually has feelings.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't like hurt them.
Yeah. I feel like TikTok has really changed things. I feel like, well, I mean, there's dark sides to Instagram for sure, but I feel like TikTok has changed the game because it is like more addicting. Like they have proven that it's addictive. It makes you want to continue to scroll. Like there's been times where I've lost like an hour of my day. Like I open it up to look at one video. I'm like, oh, I wanted to see what this person said about this. So I look it up and then like an hour goes by and I'm like, what just happened? Yeah. So I feel like that, the TikTok addictiveness, and then people are just more like vile on there. Like there's good sides to TikTok too. I don't want to make it sound like TikTok's evil, but I feel like people are just, I don't know, leave meaner comments and are just like uglier there. And I don't know why that is.
It's way more like visceral, like I guess in a way. And what I mean by that is like, yes, it's, as we were talking about earlier, very high or very low. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's less neutral content out there.
Okay. That totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And that's probably what people are engaging with because they need that like dopamine hit. If you're like scrolling for an hour.
Yeah.
Like more like basic, maybe calming kind of content might not be what's going to catch your eye and like make you keep watching. You want something like flashy that makes you feel something. Next thing you know, you're watching, I don't know, like really emotional stuff.
Yeah, no, you become immune.
Yeah.
To certain content, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's like crazy to think about, but I do believe that's like what's happening. And I do think it's like more polarizing content and that's what you get. And yeah, I do think TikTok, I think like COVID contributed to that a lot, especially with TikTok's like uprising. I think both of them happening at the same time, there was like a real reason that like happened. And I think that like really kind of affected the trajectory of like social media and how we interact.
It was like the perfect storm of us all being at home and then this app coming out and just like blowing up. I feel like it's truly changed society in some ways. Even like the people who we idolize.
Yes.
Like 20 years ago, it was all about like the celebrity. Like everyone wanted the celebrity to endorse their product or whatever. And they were like the ones on the magazines that everybody was talking about. And now it's all about influencers and like people who are more attainable, who are like sharing more of themselves online.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's so true. Like to be a like really cool girl, like you're probably like a TikTok influencer.
Yeah.
Like you see in LA, I mean, why is like LA filled with influencers now? Like, yeah, there were some starting in like 2016 on, but like right now, more than ever, so many girls rush to go to LA to become the next influencer, to then be able to do brand deals, to then meet up with other influencers to like collaborate on content. Like that's the new thing.
Yeah. And it's even like brought down some celebrities. Oh, yeah. Like, can we talk about the Blake Lively of it all? Because girl,
our favorite drama to talk about. Every new update that drops, I eat it up.
It's like a Roman Empire.
No, it's just crazy because like, okay, I do know in the past, like I heard inklings of her potentially not being a nice person.
Oh, for sure. Like during the Gossip Girl era, there was chatter about her just being like kind of rude and like not nice. But again, like we were getting our information from like Us Weekly or, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
There wasn't as like a widely available information. So we didn't really know.
No, like the PR teams
yes.
can squash that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even now, like, technically, I mean, there's people that can wipe stuff from the internet. Like, you don't think they can, but it takes a lot of dough, a lot of money. The only problem is in this case, sorry, Blake Lively, it blew up too fast, too quick, too large for anyone to be able to take down. And unfortunately, her PR team just like was terrible too. So there's that as well.
Yeah. But TikTok, I feel like they were responsible.
Oh no, like I don't
largely for her downfall.
Had TikTok not gone on that right away, I don't see her. She wouldn't have gone down. I think this would have been like a quick blip, would have gone away. But with all the TikTokers, like all the tea drama.
And then she has tried to even like squash stories. Like, did you see like she tried to take Be Better, had been like really into talking about the Blake Lively drama. And she tried to get one of his videos taken down. And it did. It was taken down temporarily. And then he went back. And did he sue them?
I don't remember.
Or did he send like a legal letter? I think it was just a letter. I don't think it was like an actual lawsuit. But yeah, he came back guns blazing and was like, no, this is freedom of speech.
Yeah. No, I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
But it's funny because the way they're handling it's just made it only worse, right? Like people are coming out, they're literally gaslighting people. You're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. You didn't hear that. That's not exactly how things went down. No, babes. Like, okay, maybe one thing was wrong, but like overall, like.
Yeah, there are facts that prove otherwise.
No, there's too much. Yeah. They even just recently showed that the texts that were originally in the lawsuit were illegally obtained.
Oh, no. I didn't hear that part.
Yes, like recently, it just came out, probably in the last couple of weeks, that those original texts were someone like and I don't remember the exact key players, but the main lady from the PR.
Yes.
So remember how the one lady left?
Yes.
Okay. She took screenshots like from that lady's phones, from her text, like as she was like leaving or before she left, because she was doing some illegal stuff, some shady things, and she didn't want to have that girl report her for these things. Wow. Like the rabbit hole, like it just is, you can go down there forever. Like everything that's coming out is just like everyone that's involved is crazy.
Yeah, like not good people.
No. I mean, that head PR lady, like it's proven that she has mistreated her employees and like done all this crazy stuff. Yeah, like I don't know. But yeah, TikTok has this major power and it really can take people down. And we see that all the time. I mean, like with the rise of cancel culture and everything.
Yes, which is scary.
Yes, it is scary. It is like, as I'm like trembling, I'm like.
I know. I'm like, I don't have any dark tweets or anything, but I like worry that maybe I did.
Yeah.
I wasn't a tweeter, but I'm like, I mean, maybe they'll find something when I don't know. Yeah. Tweeted something random about running and they're going to cancel me for it.
Yeah, no, they're going to like pull up something. She apparently said this to someone in high school. I'm like, oh gosh, like I don't know. It's just like weird how like that stuff like comes
like
about.
You can do one thing and just like have your life taken from you. It's a little scary.
Yeah, it is a little scary. I mean, like think about like Acquired Style. So like if you don't know, like Acquired Style, she got in trouble because there's this like TikTok going around about this girl commenting on boring NYC influencers and how they're all the same and they only like do Pilates and like go to coffee and like what do they do basically? Like they're just so boring and basic, which
and they're all the same. Like they all do the same thing. Yeah. That's the narrative at least.
Yes. And low key, I kind of don't like that because I feel like it goes back to the like pick me like kind of vibes. Yeah. I know she's not fully wrong. Like maybe some of them do need to create some new sort of style of content, but like it's funny. So then like Acquired Style makes a video about it and, you know, basically being like adding that girl being like, well, I'm not boring, XYZ. And then all these people start coming out saying how mean she is, like at these brand events, just in person, like running into her. She's just like such a mean girl. And I mean, she's back on TikTok now, but she's still getting hate comments. So it's going to be interesting to see
like what happens with her career. I bet she'll overcome it. It does seem like people are willing to move on a little bit more than they were maybe in like 2020. And that people can survive these things a little bit more, but still.
Yeah.
Like TikTok scares me sometimes.
Yeah, no.
It's like a weapon. It's like good and a weapon for evil. It's like both.
Yeah. No, literally. You're like, what am I going to get today? Am I right or am I right? And no, I mean, we were just talking about, I mean, there's been so much like TikTok drama too.
Yeah.
Which is like my favorite part. And maybe again, like a little evil, but like I live for the drama of it all.
Yeah.
And specifically the most recent thing, like literally updates just happened yesterday. So if you're like watching this is going to be later, but Alex Cooper versus Alex Earl.
Yes, I am invested in this. Like, because they were cool. Alex Earl went on Alex Cooper's podcast network, Unwell, and then all of a sudden, like, they're not pictured together anymore, and people are like, something's going on, and then all of a sudden, Unwell drops her podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And there's, like, just all this speculation of, like, what is happening.
Well, so I did hear a couple things, and these are just like rumors. Okay, this is all alleged, so no one come for me. Okay, but so obviously, so Variety dropped that story.
Yeah,
obviously was a PR stunt from Alex Cooper. If you don't think so, like, you're wrong. Alex Cooper's most likely, allegedly, her people released that story to Variety.
Yeah, because Alex Earl came out and was like, I didn't know. Like, she was surprised by this information.
Yeah, like that was strategically put in the media.
Yeah.
So it's most likely was from her camp.
Shady.
Yes. So that drops. But people were saying, because she, Alex Earl claimed she had no clue, whatever. People were saying it might be because Alex Cooper has an Unwell drink, and Alex Earl just released a Sip Margs drink, and she might have a non-compete in her contract.
Oh, but I thought that the Unwell drink was like a hydration, like a water thing.
It is.
Okay, so how is that competing with like a cocktail?
I don't know. This is again just like all alleged
it's just
rumor,
speculation,
and it could be that she was supposed to not create any like product or something under this, and they might have made it like general, I don't know, like drink company.
Okay, yeah.
Who knows? Again, this is alleged, it's just speculation, but people were talking about that. And then Alex Earl yesterday dropped a video, and she said, okay guys, the podcast isn't coming back anytime soon. Don't want to really talk about it, can't really talk about it. I'm moving to vlogging for now instead.
Oh my gosh. So I wonder if she like gave up the rights to the show when she signed with Unwell.
So this is where the plot thickens. Okay. So then Alex Cooper like launched back on Instagram and was like, we gave her the intellectual property.
Okay.
And I learned from the best at Dave, because like there's some Dave drama in all of this too. Dave's always involved. How's this man always
I don't know.
Involved?
He's messy.
How old is this man at this point?
I don't know. Like late 40s, I think.
Yes, that's what I think. Sorry, Dave, if that's wrong, but like I swear, like he's in his like later 40s. But
yeah, he's got his hands in a lot of drama though.
Oh yeah, which we'll get into, because like, why is this again? Like, I just don't understand. Anywho, so she says that, but people have come back and said just because she owns her intellectual property doesn't mean she owns everything. One, and B, it doesn't include terms. So what people were saying, and this is again potential because people are just speculating, throwing things out at this point. Like one of them is what the timeline is like for when she can start producing content again. So just because she got that back doesn't mean like, oh, like, because again, non-compete doesn't mean she can just like pop it up. Like it might be 6 months from now, like who knows that timeline. And if she didn't, it also doesn't mean she got all of the rights to her branding and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, think about Call Her Daddy. When she left Barstool, she had to change everything.
Yeah.
Like now she has the red and white. She had a different logo. Like she had to change her setup. Like it's not shocking. And so she might be actively like trying to maybe get these things going or redoing, or maybe she's just like a little burnt out from this whole thing and is giving it a break before she comes back. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. That's rough. But honestly, I kind of feel like this is a blessing in disguise for Alex, because her like fame came from TikTok and her like relatability and posting just like what she's doing every day. And I feel like that aligns with vlogging just like so much more. She's a girl on the go. Like she is constantly traveling and people want to go along with her and experience these things. Like that's proven from the content she creates. So I feel like maybe vlogging is like, you know, her future. Yeah.
No, I can totally see it, because even in her podcast, some of it was kind of like vloggy style content. And she even said she was trying to incorporate that more into the podcast. So I'm like, I feel like it aligns really with her brand and stuff. Yeah, like people want to see her partying and doing all this stuff and like want to feel like they're there. And so, I mean, good luck with her in this new endeavor. But yeah, the Alex Cooper dropping that Instagram story, I'm like, ooh, the girls are fighting. Yeah. If they weren't before, they definitely are now. So, but let's be real. I'm pretty sure like Alex Cooper was waiting for any chance she could to drop her.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure she just wants to also stay in the conversation, you know?
Oh yeah. It's Alex Cooper.
Yeah. Like, which is like kind of leads into another drama thing, the Haley and Sophia LaCourte thing.
Yes.
Because I think, well, you kind of explain, because you're the one who told me about this from beginning, but I feel like Sophia just wants to be in the conversation.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, this has been like an ongoing thing. If you guys, I mean, I feel like everyone knows about the Haley and like Sophia LaCourte drama, but basically let's roll it back. The one thing about me is I can re-talk about these things till it's like dead. I can beat a dead horse. If you're saying that you like don't rehash drama from like years ago with your friends, you're lying, because it is the most fun thing to do. I eat it up every time. So sorry if you've already heard this, but I don't. I'm so happy to talk about it. So basically, Haley and Sophia, they're both like really well-known NYC influencers. Okay. Well, actually, Haley wasn't as popular up until recently. So like, let's talk about her. She's gained a lot of followers from this. So I mean, to each their own, but they both ran in the same like NYC influencer groups. They were not best friends, but like, again, they were going to dinners, going to these like brand events together. Yeah. Like it kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
So Haley goes to this brand event, her and her boyfriend, this man named Reed, they were together for a while. They broke up, and Haley's at the event with Sophia. She like bought people shots, like including Haley. They're having a fun time. I guess she like leaves her jacket at Haley's place, whatever. She's crying about the Reed situation because it's been like a couple weeks, like 2.5, 3 weeks. She's just still very upset about her breakup, as you are. And she's telling Sophia this, and Sophia looks this man up on Instagram and DMs him that night. Yeah. So that's the start of it all. So Haley goes online and calls her out and goes, girl, I like knew you. My jacket's still at your freaking house. And you had the audacity to go after my ex. And then Sophia fires back and is like, look, I don't really know this. Her iconic quote, I literally wrote it down. I'm sorry, I didn't know you owned him. He wasn't wearing a collar.
Oh my gosh. I never heard that.
Yeah. No, I mean, between this, there's like so many memes from this because like low-key Sophia was eating. Like her one-liners are actually so good, even though like
I think she's in the wrong in this, but yeah, but she does seem kind of funny.
No, she's like a little villainous, but like in a funny way, like where you're kind of like, and that's why so many people sided with her on this, was because she's just so naturally very funny. And I think she purposely leaned into the villain role a little bit extra. Like she was purposely doing it to like gain followers, and she did. So like, so be it. But then like it gets even worse. So, you know, Haley and Reed end up getting back together. This is like months after this drama. And then Sophia releases a 3-part series about how she's like, this girl tried to get me canceled after I only met her like 3 times.
Yes, that was like the title of the series. And this is, mind you, like a year right? Like after
it had to be at least 6 months.
Yeah, like after she had gone on a couple dates.
Like a date with this man. She literally went to this one place and then went to a hotel like bar after with him. And kept releasing videos about how like this guy looked good on her, like all this stuff. Ew, gross behavior. Like you're literally so gross. And this is where Ken Urich came in. Love Ken Urich because she's actually an icon. And that's when she said, I never want to speak on drama, but I actually hate that little ginger bitch. Iconic. Okay, I still think about that all the time. Like people still use that sound to this day.
Yes.
Like because she was so annoying. Everyone's like, okay, at this point, like you're definitely in the wrong. Like if before she wasn't, she's definitely in the wrong now. But like be so for real. A girl's crying to you about her ex. You've met this guy, I guess, or like you thought he was hot.
Yeah.
And then you went
and DM'd
him.
Like you're consoling your friend while you're like you're like, oh, I'm sorry, girl. Yeah, he's hot. Yeah, like firing off a text message like, hey, let's meet up. I can't even like put that in words. Like the most pick me energy ever.
Because, and at this point too, she's like publicly trashing Hallie.
Yeah.
Like Hallie made one video. Then she comes back and makes like 5,000 videos in retaliation.
Yeah. She's just doing it for the clout. She wants to go viral and she has. Like this series has been so incredibly popular.
Like she started with like around 700K. She has 1.1 million followers today.
Yeah.
Like that probably is going to continue to go up.
Yeah.
She's a very pretty girl, but like mean girl energy for sure. And then within the last couple months, in February 2025, she made another video saying, I actually bet they're not happy at all. Yeah. Basically adding Hallie. And Hallie actually did win this one. And reason being, I don't know if you saw, but she came back with a video and basically was like, I don't know if you've seen, but there's this girl who continually talks about my relationship.
I watched that video.
She was so graceful in it, basically being like, I don't know what's going on with her. We pray for her. We hope for the best for her.
Yeah. Basically saying like, can you imagine someone coming for you and your man who like live together, like we're in a very stable, happy relationship, and she just like continues to make hate videos about me and my man.
Crazy behavior. Crazy behavior.
Yeah. Attention-seeking behavior. Like she just wants to be part of the conversation. She wants to be the conversation.
Oh, 100%.
And it's working for her, clearly. That's probably why she came back with this other video. She's like, hey, I need another couple more followers. I know what to do. This has worked before.
Yeah, I just could never imagine like throwing someone under the bus again long after it's been dealt with.
Yeah. That's what makes it extra cringy. Like everyone, girl, has moved on and you're still like on the same story.
Yeah, this is 2025 and this has been happening since 2023.
Yeah, that's a bad look.
Terrible look. No, hate that. And then also another favorite, and it keeps updating, the Grace and Brie drama.
Yes. Run it back for the people who don't know who these people are.
Okay, so we have Brie, and I can never pronounce her last name. So
LaPaglia, I think.
LaPaglia. Also AKA known as Brianna Chicken Fry. Okay. She became popular at Barstool. Okay. She was like a college student. She was doing all this stuff. She
had a podcast.
Came out with a podcast called Plan Brie, sorry. And her and this lifelong friend of hers, Grace O'Malley, who was, I guess they've been friends since like fifth grade.
Like childhood friend. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically Brianna was like doing this podcast, got Grace a job at Barstool because she was trying to get Grace like on this podcast with her, Plan Brie. She becomes a regular, then she becomes a co-host of this show with her, still named Plan Brie. They never changed the name, which is like interesting, but basically that happened. And then things start going downhill when Brie starts dating Zach Bryan.
Yeah. Who
is grody.
Kind of like the scum.
Yeah, no, he literally, we all know this. What's crazy is I heard a lot of bad things before about him dating her, but after she dated him and like kind of laid a lot of stuff out, I was like, oh no, you actually suck. So basically what's happening is people were noticing that they were being a little funky with each other. They're like, there's tension. The podcast isn't how it used to be. Like there's something up, but people didn't know what was happening. And when Brie did her tell all on the BFFs podcast, this other podcast she does, part of Barstool, they dropped the lore that Grace got like verbally attacked by Zach Bryan this one night. And he was telling her she would never make it. She's not funny. All these terrible things.
Yeah.
And then people were like, oh, yeah, this is like the reason why they're not friends anymore. Like, not that Brie wasn't a victim in her own right, but like if you stay with someone who's treating your best friend like terribly, like you have to understand why that friend would separate herself from the situation.
Yeah.
Like she didn't get signed up to be attacked by him. Okay. That's your relationship. You know, she's trying her best, but like at a certain point.
Yeah.
So that all happens. And then basically there's a huge fallout. Okay. Grace, well, they basically decide that the Plan Break podcast is done. So
yeah.
Grace leaves Barstool, gets signed by Alex Cooper. This is where it's coming back for the Unwell
Network,
pod.
Yeah.
The Unwell Network, which is why, again, there's a falling out between Dave and Alex Cooper. That's a whole side story, but basically reconnecting. And then that's when Grace, well, okay, this is kind of before this, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Grace actually, right before she signs with them, Brie posts that she's planning on bringing back Plan Brie, with unbeknownst to Grace.
Yeah.
Grace posts a story on Instagram being like, I had no clue.
Yeah. News to me.
I'm not coming back. Like, okay, so Brie's now trying to do this podcast on her own, basically kicking off her co-host.
Yeah.
And then she has the audacity to go on the BFFs podcast again and says, like, rants about Grace for like most of the pod episode, saying how she feels blindsided by Grace's Instagram post and is like hurt by the whole thing. And then that's when Grace goes to the Unwell Network, does the whole thing, because she's like leaves Barstool because she's like, okay, my boss Dave is literally trash talking me with my friend, quote unquote friend, Brie. But since then, I mean, Grace has been very graceful, very gracious about the whole Brie situation. She went on Theo Von's podcast and was basically saying that she thinks they're going to patch it up eventually.
I think that it's still savable. I think their relationship is savable, mainly because their drama really had to do with Zach, and like maybe Brie didn't stand up for her, you know, and I don't know, like the situation there, but she was also really going through it, and I feel like they could work through that, like once tensions aren't quite as high. I don't think that relationship is like unsavable, especially since they're friends for so long. Like I understand needing to take a break after all of that because they went through a lot, but
I mean,
I think it could work.
Brie even recently said that she was talking to Grace. Like, I mean, they're not besties, but she's been talking to her. So, I mean, that's kind of hopeful. I do think, though, that like Brie is going to have to be quite apologetic about everything, because not that we don't fully know what Grace has said or done either. But like from the outside perspective, it looks like Brie was kind of
like trashing her.
Well, yeah. I mean,
or she like trashed throwing her under the bus.
Yes. I mean, she trashed her on the podcast on the BFFs podcast again for like an hour, was just talking mad crap about her. And publicly was basically going in after her, even after Grace was like keeping her mouth shut about them being tense. Like, yes, they released that one podcast going into it, but like up until that point, Brie was like, I mean, Brie even made fun of Grace's like sexual assault, basically like blaming it on her.
I mean, I listened to that podcast and I don't remember that being exactly what it was.
It was a little, people basically blamed Brie for that and was saying it was like a little victim blamey. It was just a little interesting. I think there just like needs to be some conversations to be had there.
For sure.
About like what they want their friendship going forward, like what they need to do and work on, because it is really hard. I mean, they were friends since 5th grade and they lived together and they like did all this stuff, like, and you're just going to give that up because of like
basically like a man, like a crap man came in between them. And that's really sad.
Yeah. No, agreed.
Well, since we've been talking about like influencer life and like all the spicy drama that's happening on TikTok, I want to get your opinion on some like influencer like hot takes, like things that influencers do or participate in that are like kind of hot button issues that people definitely have opinions on.
Sure.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, the first one, what do you think about brand trips?
Okay. I feel 2 things about them.
Okay.
And it's also coming from like my background, like for work and stuff. Part of me loves them, part of me hates them. I think it's been like on the horizon for a while that these are kind of like not the way to go about doing all of your marketing, like influencer marketing. Like people, again, this is like something that's been talked about for years. Now though, communities, like actual followers, are asking for them to be rewarded, which makes sense. They have the buying power, they're giving to the brands. Like these influencers are not necessarily giving like their own money to the brands. Just because they're saying they're there doesn't mean they're actively using products like all the time. Versus like actual followers and like fans of like Tarte, for instance, or whatever, they're using the products. So like I do believe they should be rewarded. But on the other side, like I do enjoy seeing some of these branding trips. Like that might be like a minority opinion, but like
it's not, I don't think.
I like seeing them do stuff. Like when even this like Alex Earl, like when she had like the yacht day, like it wasn't even a full like brand trip, but like these like parties, like the unwell, like Alex Cooper's doing these unwell parties, like inviting famous people to them. You don't think that's fun to watch and like binge the content? I love seeing them get ready for it. I love to see them at the places and like connect with other influencers, because it's like it's kind of like watching a crossover episode of like your favorite people and then they just naturally come together. But like I do understand why people are kind of like fighting it a little bit more now. I think it needs to be like a mix of brand trips and then also again like give your audience a little like giveaway, give them a little more options than even sending them on a trip. I genuinely think that would do well for you. But like people in theory I think like it, but like if 2 random people got sent on a trip somewhere from Tarte, no one's gonna care about
them. As someone who has been on a brand trip, I can tell you it sounds lovely in theory to send like your customers somewhere and ask them to create content. But nobody is going to give a rip. Like the reason they're sending these influencers on brand trips is because they have invested audiences that want to watch their content. And then when you get them all together, all of that crossover of people posting, like the amount of people you were reaching is just like straight insanity. So from a business sense, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And I get why people are like a little butthurt about it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I think maybe the best way to do it is kind of like what you said. Maybe give like away a trip for 2 for their like top customer of the year and make a big deal about it and have them do a photo shoot and like create, like produce, content, because your average person isn't going to create content at the same level as a full-time influencer is. And so then the people feel like maybe they're giving back, but also you're still getting the brand awareness from sending the people that have an audience.
Sure. Or like do some event marketing, like even these parties.
Yeah.
Invite a bunch of influencers, but then invite like 2 random people. Like, so then they get to like rub shoulders or like meet people.
Yeah.
That's fine. Or even like with the Poppy vending machines, because that got so much hate.
That was going to be the next thing I brought up, was like gifting.
Yeah, like that one's a little difficult. That one I feel like a little weird about, but like what if they put that in a public place and like at a school, like a college or something, and they gave so many people like free tokens to like get a Poppy, and they literally took videos or like in photos of all the people running to go get their poppy and like doing that. That would be a great marketing campaign.
Yes.
And maybe upset less people, but it's like so hard to like know how people were going to react to that. If I was on the other side of that, I understood maybe why they would have been confused that went so badly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I think the vending machine one is just kind of a little bit of an outlier because it was so freaking extravagant.
Yeah.
Like people were like, what? Like you were doing the absolute most. You were giving people vending machines. So yes, I agree that one was just like, that was a miss.
Yeah.
But I love that idea of doing it like a college campus and having people there to help produce the content, because that's what's going to make it be more like received.
Exactly. Like you can totally give things to people, but yeah, you do have to have someone to capture that content. Cause like you said, people aren't, it's like maybe they'll pose with their poppy in the vending machine because they think it's cool. But if you have a professional there taking videos and like photos, you are guaranteed you're going to get all of that content. And then you're doing something fun.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Poppy, call us because I really think that we're onto something here.
Yeah.
What if they had like surprise college visits?
Yes.
Like they went to different, and you never knew where they were going to show up. And then all of a sudden, bam, they're there. They're at University of Virginia. And like, then it's like a huge hype thing. And they could travel across the country, hitting different colleges. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they have
this is an idea.
You know how they have like the Red Bull car?
Yes.
Where's the Poppy car?
Yes. Do like not a car. Do something that's like really like a van or something that's like really aesthetic and cute, because their whole entire vibe is just like so cute. Like a VW van.
Yes.
With like Poppy wrap on that. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason. Like I think event marketing more and more is just like really blowing up. And the reason being is like people want experiential things.
Yeah.
And what's great about it is you get 2 for 1. You get the like everyone can watch it online and be like, oh, that's so cool, and I wish I was there, like get some FOMO. But then also the people that are there like get a great interaction with the brand. So it's like that's so positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, Poppy. I would love Poppy content. Merch, drink. I love Poppy.
I just had a Poppy yesterday. I had the orange one. So good.
No, it's just funny because in grad school, like all the girlies were obsessed with Poppy. Fun fact, one of my projects, we did it on Poppy, like what we would do for their marketing campaign. And what's even funnier is that some of the stuff we did in that, they have done since then. And so it's like really, it's kind of like meta, I feel like, to be like, oh, and now they just sold. Like,
yeah.
Anyways, I'm just like a long-standing fan of Poppy. I'm trying to not drink as much soda lately, so I haven't had one in a minute, but all of the girls at Vanderbilt, shout out them, they got me into Poppy, so it's still a love of mine.
Yeah, and they normally do really good marketing, so I think that's why people were just like so surprised by the vending machine thing being like such a huge miss, because for the most part, they do branding and advertising content like pretty well.
Yeah, and it's funny because even Olipop like leaned into it and was like telling people how much it would cost, which was insane of them. Like, because Poppy came back and was like, no, it actually didn't cost that much. Like, you're basically lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Olipop starting drama.
I know. Olipop was like, opportunity.
Yes.
Like, let me dive right in there, steal some of your fans.
That's hilarious.
But I do think it's funny because they're like very similar products, but I do think that they go after like different people. But yeah, we'll see how that ends up. But I do wish Poppy the best. Hopefully, like they can figure it out, and then like
I think they will. I think they hopefully learn from this, and
yeah,
they'll continue to be successful. Like no doubt in my mind.
Oh no, people drink Poppy like water.
Yeah.
So they'll be okay.
Okay, what about de-influencing, that whole trend?
Oh, I love that.
You do?
I love de-influencing.
Okay.
I think it's not going to get rid of like the current, like, I mean, here's the thing. We're a consumer society, okay? Like, and unfortunately, like TikTok, unless it dies, because I truly do believe like Instagram and stuff, like they push it too, but I think TikTok like really got it going in the last so many years, especially with like fast fashion and all of that. Like Amazon, Shein, like they really push that stuff hard. I would say I just don't see people stopping buying things, but I do think that a lot of people are tired of like, for instance, I've seen several people being like, with the new shoe trend, like people being like, what are the new sneakers of this season? And people are like, are you stupid? Like, your sneaker, like you don't have to get a new sneaker every season, like fall, winter, like that's insane behavior and like mindset to have. And I kind of agree with that. Like, what about our old clothes? What about our things that we have? Like, you don't have to get rid of that or like stop wearing it just because something like new has come about.
Yeah.
And I also think you'll be able to find your personal fashion taste way more if you're able to kind of like turn that off a little bit and be like, well, I still like this. They don't, but I do. Or I like this and it's not trendy right now, but like that's okay. And I do think like the de-influencing, it's good too because I know like what not to buy. Just because it's trending, like, oh, this makeup is so great. Like everyone's talking about it. And then people are like, well, it's not pigmented. Oh, it's a little dry.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the honesty, I guess, but I feel like in a lot of ways, de-influencing is just influencing and calling it something else.
Yeah, that's
just
fair.
Being honest about like, these are the things I don't like. It's still influencing. Like you're still influencing other people's opinions and maybe even buying habits. So I think it's kind of funny because I'm like, is it really any different? Or are we just calling it something else?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a good way to frame it. I guess I've never thought of it that way. But that's true, I guess. Like, I don't know. I just like, I do think though that we are going to start to see a little bit more minimalism start to kind of come in just because again, I think people are a little tired of the overspending, overconsumption. I don't blame them. Like you're being pushed at every turn to buy something new. And even me, I've been trying to like spend a lot less. I'm like, just because I like am interested in it doesn't mean I like have to buy it. I saw this one TikTok recently of this girl being like, every time I want to buy something, I take a picture of it instead. And she's like, and it's cutting down my spending because I feel like I took a picture of it, like I have it, like quote unquote have it. And then she's like, I've just stopped buying things just to like have something cute. Like
there was this study that I read that actually just like putting things in your cart gives you that dopamine hit, like without even purchasing it. So you're like, say you like it and you're like, yeah, I'm going to put that in my cart. I'm going to sleep on it. Or like, oh wait. And a lot of times you won't actually check out because it's not like an impulse decision, but it does still give you that hit. Like you feel like you're shopping. Now, this is one topic that I have a lot of thoughts about, but I want to hear what you have to say about hate watching.
Okay. Well, honestly, that's funny because I feel like I've not really heard of that. Do you mind like talking about that a little bit more? Like purposely,
like
you hate
following people that you truly hate, but you actively watch it.
Why?
Because they annoy you, and you just like want to talk crap about them. Like this is something that happens. Like there are forums dedicated to just like hating on influencers and other people who like live their lives online.
Pages.
Yeah, snark pages, and this is, you know, some of what they do. They hate watch.
That's so funny to me because I guess like I guess I've never heard of that, but it doesn't like shock me that people do that.
Yeah.
Because there is this thing called like, and I don't even know the exact like term for it, but like in marketing, people more and more now are making content that's purposely cringy to gain a reaction because even again it's like a visceral,
even if it's negative,
because it drives viewership, so
and probably engagement because there's probably people going ew.
That's why
they don't care.
Exactly. That's why you'll see Super Bowl ads, and there were several this year that were like the tongue one.
Yeah, and like the flying mustache and eyebrows thing.
Yes. So,
weird.
So they purposely do that.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like, ew. And then you're going to remember that brand because you're like, that was cringy. That was gross.
Okay.
So in that aspect, I think those people are actually like, for lack of a better word, like getting off on that content because they're like, oh, like this gives me something to like hate or to like feel
it fuels them,
that emotion. But that's just like weird to me because I'm gonna be honest, like if I just don't like something, I just don't want to watch it.
Like same. Like I don't understand. And I think there's this I don't know, I guess viewpoint that like influencers are responsible for how they make you feel. Like there's that idea out there like, oh, I watched this video and it made me feel bad about myself. And it's like, okay, valid. Unfollow that person. Like I don't understand following people that make you feel crappy. And I don't think it's on the influencer to like not worry about your mental health, because that sounds just like so, I don't know, like rude and uncaring. But like if you're following my content and I make you feel bad, you should unfollow for your mental health, you know, and it's not my responsibility that you're still watching my content. You know, like you can't blame me for consuming my content because you're making an active choice to consume it. Yes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I mean, okay. I just also think you can't cater to every single person's emotions. Exactly. But also like, I'm sorry, like I kind of don't like, I'm going to sound like a freaking boomer, but like some of it too though is like, if you feel bad about because someone looks better than you or someone like you walk like 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
I could feel bad about that. I don't.
Yeah.
Or I could just be like, that's a you thing and that's not a me thing. Or if I feel insecurity about that, should I not like look inwardly and say, why do I feel insecure about that? Mm-hmm. Is it because I'm not doing things that I think I should be doing, like for my health? Or is it because I feel like not worthy enough? Like, at what point it's like therapy?
You're making sense here.
Yeah.
That's the right way to think. This is like an emotionally mature response. The problem is that people online are not always emotionally mature.
Yeah,
they want to like blame everyone else for the problems and they hate watch.
Yeah, that's just like so weird to me because like why, if you do not like something, like why are you not, what's the term for that? Like when people are doing something that they know they like that's causing them pain and they continue to do it anyways, mm-hmm. and they like that.
Yeah, like masochism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you not like a masochist in some way? Because you're purposely driving yourself insane. Like you want to live in that anger.
Yeah.
And like living in anger is just like not a healthy place to be. Like you're basically, what I'm hearing from that is you're probably running from your other emotions. Like there's something you're hiding if you want to stay in anger.
Yeah.
Or you're angry about something else and you're just going to like
direct it
at that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so odd.
Yeah.
I keep using the word weirdo, but like I'm kind of obsessed with the word weirdo lately. The reason being is because, you know, nothing hits better than like saying like someone's just like mean. Okay? Like that hits. Someone saying someone's like a freak, like that's fun. Like you could cuss somebody out, but I promise, you know what's going to hurt worse? Calling them a weirdo or like a freak. They're literally going to be like, what? I love using that word lately. So if you hear me say it a lot, that's why.
That's your new phrase.
Yeah, because like that's weirdo behavior.
It is really weirdo behavior. You're right. Mm-mm. Okay. What are your thoughts on the rise of the vlog? And like, that's the new form of content that's like really, really popular right now.
I love vlogs.
Yeah.
I eat them up. I'm like, oh, you had oatmeal for breakfast? Like what toppings did you put on? Like I love a vlog. I'm like, oh, it's just like fun to see how people spend their time in their day. And sometimes it motivates me to like start living better. Sometimes it doesn't. I guess it just depends, but it's fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. I feel like it's a nice way to authentically, obviously you're not seeing everything, but like authentically getting little peeks into people's lives. Mm-hmm. And we're all just like so nosy and curious about each other. Yeah. Like, let's be for real. So it's fun to see like how other people live, like what their routines are like. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I genuinely do feel like I connect more with influencers that do vlogs than other people. Because I'm like, oh, okay, like you like to work out at like this time of day. And like, oh, you like to get coffee. And like, this is like the sort of coffee you drink. And
this
like,
is your order or the place that you go. Or,
yeah, like you kind of feel like you know more about them. Mm-hmm. And so that really like connects you to them. And I mean, that's the whole point, right? Like, you want to feel close to whoever you follow. It's like kind of weirdo to think about it. It's like a little odd, like when you're really like explaining it out loud like that, but like that's kind of,
yeah, you're looking for a connection, and that's like a more real feeling connection than watching an unboxing video.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because like obviously, especially when I like someone's style, or like, I guess it's really more like how they present themselves basically. I'm like, I like the way you present yourself. Like your makeup's cool, your hair is cool, your clothes are cool. Then I'm like, I want to learn more about this person that's so cool to me. And then it's like, oh, well, like this is how they live, or this is really who they are, their personality. And then like, if I like that, then I'm like going to continue to follow you, because I'm like, I'd like to be like this person too. I mean, innately, that's kind of what it is like that, or like, oh, we're similar to each other in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and you feel like they're a friend.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes along with like the whole comfort creator thing too. I think those two kind of go hand in hand, because I think people are craving more, I keep using the word authentic. I don't know what other word to use, but like every day, like this is what I'm doing in my life, not as salesy kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And more just like everyday life.
No, 100%. I mean, I love like someone who I can actually feel like that's them. Because I feel like you can smell it most of the time. At least I feel like, because I know you, I feel like I look out for it more. But like I typically can tell when someone's being like disingenuous. And I think most people in this day and age can, because they've grown up watching this sort of content at this point. And so like people that are just like, this is me and this is what I like to do. And again, it is vulnerable. And in some ways it's like, you kind of like respect that they are sharing those things. And like, you want to like, I mean, you think about it, and this like goes back to another principle, but like when people give you something like a what you would consider like a gift sort of thing, you feel obligated to give them something back. So in this way, when they're sharing these parts of their life with you, you are way more likely to give them a like, give them a follow, give them a comment, because that is you giving them something in return. It's like an exchange.
Reciprocity. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's weird to think about it that way, but it is. So you're like,
that's interesting. Yeah. No, I see that though.
Yeah.
So maybe I should do some more vlog content.
Yeah.
Although I feel like my vlog content doesn't perform well. So every time I do one, I'm like, meh, that was a bust. But maybe I'm just not doing it right. I feel like it's an art, you know, just like everything else.
I also feel like you have to do it regularly, because the people that like vlog content won't follow you.
Yeah.
And people that don't won't.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe it's just like your follower base too. Like maybe some of them are just like, that's not the sort of content they like. I don't know, because I do feel like that people that vlog, it's like their main thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like vlogging my entire day and then on top of that, like creating other content, because it is full time to be making clips. Like if you don't think those influencers are spending hours on their vlog, they are moving the camera in all these different places. They're taking the clips, they're editing it down. That is so time intensive. So mad respect to them. But yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that and like trying to create other content on top of it.
Exactly. And then also the people that are really good at, they have a lot, I mean, they're investing. They might have multiple cameras, like multiple tripods. They have their phone one place. They have 2 cameras. They like, and then they clip that all together, and like editing on its own. Like if each clip is like 5 minutes, you have to cut that down to the exact place. Like, and then I don't even know. And you have to get a ton of it because I mean, once it's done, it's done. Like you're not going to go back and like reshoot stuff.
Exactly. You're not going to go back to the coffee shop and like order another latte because you didn't like the take. Like, no.
Yeah. So everything has to like be right, or otherwise you like scrap the video. So it's crazy to like think about those things, but it's true. Vlogging is like, it's a work of art.
Yeah, it is. Okay, what about apology videos? How do you feel about apology videos?
I hate them. Why?
Same.
It's so cringy.
Yeah.
I don't care what you did. Like I could save the apology video. And I know like some people will be like, no, like they have to like atone for their sins. I'm like, I do not give a crap. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see you like a single tear rolling down your eye and like, or on your face. And then you like being like with a very scripted, obviously like you wrote it out, because even if you're like authentically being sad about something, like you want to have your thoughts together. So you probably have written it out or like have an outline or something of everything you want to hit. And it's basically like begging for forgiveness.
Yeah. I am a much bigger fan of like a statement, and maybe that's like too impersonal for some people, but whatever. Like make a statement, maybe take a step back for like a week. Things will pass and you can get back to it.
Yeah. No, I think people now like require an apology video. I just think they're cringy.
They are.
And like, and also like when people quote unquote don't do it right, you get more hate for it.
Exactly. Like your apology video is going to get hate. People are going to say that you're inauthentic. People are going to like, they're going to just like tear you apart. So it's just, yeah.
No, I'm okay if apology videos go away. I'm also for the nice statement.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, you're already writing out exactly what you would do if you're going to release a statement. So like release a statement, write it out, have people proofread it, make sure it's like sounds good, send it off. Like, I don't know. I just think like, and that's also like a thing where I think the internet wants to see people at their lowest again. And I'm like, is that not like a little terrible to be like, we're the judge, jury, and executioner, and you must bow before us and like say you're sorry and like be tearful and like say it exactly this way. And if you do that, you might get us to forgive you. Like,
yeah.
Is that not like really scary and like sad to think about?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we need to give people like a little more grace, I think. Like, not to say that like people don't do bad things, but like it's really weird. I had this conversation with someone the other day and I'm like, people act as if no one's ever said or done anything bad throughout history. Like, but just because now they're more likely to get caught because of the internet, like then we have to hold them accountable. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah.
Not that everything should be let go, because some people do terrible things, and you know, like not everything we should say, oh, that's fine. Like as a society, we shouldn't be like encouraging people to do bad things. But also like, it's just weird to me because when people are like so hateful, I'm like, you've never said or done anything bad ever in your life, like not once.
Yeah. You should be thankful that it just wasn't caught on camera or like in an old tweet or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, just because again, you're not an influencer or a celebrity, you're not putting yourself out there. Like everyone has said or done something mean or bad to someone. And if we were taking tallies of like every single bad thing that people have said or done, you would not have any friends.
No. Yeah.
Like you could never.
There would be no content to consume.
Yeah. I know. Don't you want people to make like good quality content? Like, I'm sorry. Like also, especially when it's like just, again, like it's something so trivial. I'm like, someone made one mean comment or didn't want to take a picture with you or like whatever. I'm like, oh, who cares? Like, let it go. Let it go. Like, again, people also just have their off moments or their off days. And also, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird stuff. I think we can do without the apology videos forever.
Same. I'm out on apology videos. All right. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Like influencer hot takes? Anything that influencers do that just like give you the ick?
I mean, we talked about it recently, but like saying too much about their lives.
Yeah.
When we talked about that line earlier, like I think people shouldn't ask too much of influencers, but influencers also should not give you every single second of the day. Like, I don't know. It's just like there's certain things where I'm like, you could cut the camera now.
Yeah.
Like it's private time. If you need to like go away even for a couple days, like say, look, I have to take a break. Like big events in my life. I would respect that like way more from someone. Cause that's like, you're a real person. Like you're allowed to like step away.
Yeah. But I will tell you, like on the other side of the coin, there is that pressure to feel like if I step away, I'm going to become irrelevant.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a hard balance.
No, I get it. I just think like it's too much. Like I just don't need to see people crying on the internet so much. And also just like people like share like weirdly things personal things, or I'm like at their worst moments. Like that one trend, and I can't even remember exactly what it was, but people were like, oh my gosh, it was with that weird sound. Like, I'm not even going to try and recreate it, but they were like doing slideshows where they were talking about like crazy things they did or that happened to them. And some of this stuff, like comments literally were like, you couldn't waterboard this information out of me. And I'm like, yeah, because why are you sharing?
Oh, is it the guy from Sesame Street? Like with the crazy hair?
Yes.
What's his name?
Arthur.
Is that his name?
Well, no, not Arthur with the aardvark.
No, not Arthur. Like the scientist, the guy who like looks like he's a scientist with a white jacket. Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you talking about that scientist? But the girl was like deep conditioning her hair and then like fell.
Yes, the olive oil.
Yes.
That exact trend. Yes. That one. And I just was like, there was just certain ones where people were talking about like pooping their pants and like doing crazy stuff. And I was like, why are you sharing? Like the olive oil one was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. That was like not even that embarrassing really. It was just like a really like
the series of events that happened were like nearly unbelievable, and it was so outrageous.
Yes, but like some of those I literally was like, what possesses you to share this information? Like I would rather jump off a building
than share that you pooped your pants.
Yes. But they were like at a guy's house and like pooped their pants in the night or something. And I was like, bro.
No. Yeah. No,
because they like randomly got a stomach bug or something. I'm like, no. I'm like, sorry. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, because there was 5,000 of those sort of stories.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, people don't need to know. Like, get a journal, babes. Get a journal. A journal for you will go so far. You can write down like when you're sad, when you're mad, when you're happy. It's crazy what you can do with a journal. Like, oh gosh, no, not everyone needs like every second of your day.
Yeah.
It's okay.
100%.
It's all right. But I think that's like really it. I mean, overall, I feel like hopefully we're getting better on like TikTok, but I do love it. Yeah. You'll catch me scrolling after this episode.
Yeah. I need to be better about posting on TikTok, but yeah, it's hard.
Me and TikTok are like this. I know. Simpatica. We're so close. We'd be best friends in real life. Well, maybe.
The things that your TikTok probably knows about you, let's be honest.
Oh no, it knows like where I've lived. It pulls up like stuff from when I lived in California.
Yeah.
Like where we lived. What were we talking about yesterday? And like it showed me a video. Mm-hmm. I'm like, if I speak right next to it, I'm like, what do I want? Like next time I'll just be like, famous, likes, followers.
I know. I keep joking that I'm going to pick up my husband's phone and be like, trip to the Bahamas, flowers.
Yeah, like anything you want, just like start speaking it to existence. Next thing you know, you're going to get 5,000 ads. Mm-hmm. Like that's the way it works. But the algorithm,
they know so much about us.
They probably could say like how old I am. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess you give that information, but they probably tell me like how tall I am, where I live, what my interests are, where I went to college. They'll be like, because I mean, I've been on TikTok since I was in undergrad. Mm-hmm. So since 2019, I was on TikTok before it was like cool.
That's a flex. Is that a pick me?
It is a little pick me.
I knew about it first.
Yeah, no, I was not the first. I wasn't on like Musical.ly, but like when it first switched over to TikTok, like I was on it. Because I remember like doing those like dance videos and doing stuff, and people were like, that's so cringy, and like you guys need to stop, and like ugh. And I was over here like, this is fun, like I love this app. And then we got sent home, COVID happened, and then everyone joined. Who's the cringe one now? As you're over there liking that content, you see someone dance, you're like, oh, that's so clever. Yeah, no, that was me. I mean, my videos never blew up. I think actually at the time, I actually had a couple videos that got like a couple thousand likes. Mm-hmm. And that was again before like a ton of people were on that. So that was pretty big like at the time. I was like, oh, and I got like, I think like 8,000 plus views on a couple of the videos. I was like, I'm so cool.
I'm famous.
No, I never claimed to be famous, nor have I ever said I like wanted to be famous on there, but it was just like, it's just for fun. It's for fun. Love that app, even when it does me dirty.
Yeah. So if you're a TikTok girly, you can follow us
yes.
on TikTok at Situationship.
Or you can find us on our personals. Mine is at Morgan Ashley Shoffin.
And I'm at Lauren M. Dix. Give us a follow. Rate us 5 stars. Come on.
We hope to see you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.